Gervonta Davis says Ryan Garcia is getting set up. Obviously, you guys know that press conference went down between Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis for June 15th with David Benavidez as the co-main event. It'll be interesting, but it was interesting, even more interesting to see Ryan Garcia kind of helped out by Gervonta Tank Davis. Obviously, this is Tank's day, his press conference, so people are all huddling around him. They asked him, why do you stand with Ryan Garcia through all of this drama with the PEDs, testing positive, not for one, but for two PEDs in his sample A tests. And Gervonta Davis is saying that he finds it a little bit weird that, this is coming out now when Canelo's fighting, and all that hype should have been during the fight. Why did he have to deal with the consequences 2 weeks later when he already won the fight? This is all coming out after the fact. He tested clean, only had it in his system the day before and on the day of the fight. So Tank is siding with Ryan Garcia here, and it's interesting. I used to think like Gervonta Tank Davis was only siding with Ryan Garcia, and part of me still does think this, but I was saying that Tank wants to say that Ryan's not cheating, not because he really believes it, but because it looks better. If he beat Ryan and Ryan beat Devin the way he did and was clean with it. But obviously the test came back positive. So no matter what, I think that it's possible. And this is the best case scenario, that Ryan Garcia tested positive but didn't mean to. I think that's where Ryan Garcia has a chance of proving his innocence. If he can prove that whatever he took, whatever was found in his system, the two PEDs, which is going to be hard to cover up and, get away with, he's going to have to prove that involuntarily got into his system, that he didn't intentionally take PEDs, that one of his trainers gave it to him without him knowing. If he can pull that off, then it's interesting. But I was genuinely shocked to hear Tank's perspective. He really does think that Ryan Garcia is getting set up. So it's an interesting take from Tank Davis, because you would think that Ryan he would go at Ryan, because Tank and Ryan have still been going on social media, going at each other, talking trash to each other, and ultimately seeing Gervonta Tank Davis come to Ryan Garcia's rescue in a sense, because I don't think Tank understands what he's doing for Ryan by sticking by him in a time where all of the people within the sport of boxing, I'm not talking about fans, because a lot of fans still rock with Ryan Garcia, but a lot of people within the sport, there are very few people that are supporting Ryan Garcia and saying that they believe him. But Tank is saying that he believes him. He's saying that Eddie Hearn let guys like Conor Benn fight when they tested positive for PEDs. Guys like Dillian White also fight on PEDs. So now Ryan Garcia is getting this treatment and he switches up. So Tank is just pointing out at Eddie Hearn that he's being a hypocrite, because he's had fighters that have tested positive continue to fight, and this is Ryan Garcia, where he was clean up until the sample A test came from the day before the fight with Devin Haney and the day after. So it's a lot to unravel, guys. I'm probably gonna go live at some point to talk about this, so make sure you guys tune in for that. It'll be interesting. But yeah, Tank Davis, he has his own opinion, and you got to respect it, because who am I to say Tank is lying, because Tank knows more about the sport of boxing than I do, obviously. So it was just interesting to see him come to Ryan Garcia's defense when the whole sport of boxing wasn't even willing to do part of that. Everyone was quick to jump off the hype train and say this is cheating, which I understand. There's no room for cheating in the sport of boxing if it's true. But if Tank is right, and he's saying, it sounds a little bit like a conspiracy theory coming from Tank, but I'm not mad at him, because a lot of speculation, a lot of the time when you smell smoke, there's a fire. So ultimately, Tank has the right to have his suspicions, because he knows this game. He knows how the fight game works. It's not as clean cut as people think. As much as VADA has been used within the sport of boxing, you guys got to remember, it only happens during the high profile fights. It's not uncommon for a fighter to test positive. And if like I said before, if Ryan Garcia can somehow prove that the two, let me say it's two, it's not one PED, but two different kinds of PEDs found in his system were taken by accident, that's where he has a sense of, being found not guilty. He can be found innocent, but it's not going to be easy, But I will say, an advocate like Tank does not hurt your case. It helps it tremendously, because within the sport of boxing, when you have the face of boxing, the most popular fighter in the sport, on your side, so Tank has Ryan's back in this situation. He really thinks that, he called Eddie Hearn a snake in a suit. So this could all be coming from Tank's dislike towards Eddie Hearn, and you know, Ryan's getting lucky because Tank really doesn't like Eddie, so he's trying to, you know, make Ryan look good. And on top of that, you know, Tank is trying to help Ryan because it does make his win over Ryan Garcia look better. If Ryan Garcia is a cheater, then, you know, Devin would probably still have to fight Tank to see who's really better, because Devin's going to say, I fought Ryan when he was on PEDs, you didn't. So it's different. It's different now. And now there's a narrative for that Devin Haney fight and Tank fight to actually happen, because Devin doesn't want the rematch with Ryan, as he said. And I have reason to believe, you know, he doesn't want to get in there because he did feel a level of power. I think he knows that Ryan Garcia's power is no joke, even with the PEDs not involved. That's why I think Devin Haney's not taking that fight. He's saying that Ryan Garcia doesn't deserve the rematch, but you've seen guys like Miguel Cotto deal with a cheater and, you know, go in that rematch and then get the job done. Devin Haney obviously has no intention of doing so. So as much as I like Devin, I'm shocked to hear him not interested in the rematch, at least not right now. I think that you know, his mind may change in the future, because ultimately, if the money is right, imagine he gets paid even more. This narrative of Ryan Garcia cheating, whether it's true or false, is going to sell a lot more pay-per-views than whatever they did. You know, Ryan Garcia is saying that it did 1.5 million. I don't know how true that is. You know, if that's the case, that means it broke the Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia pay-per-view sales, but I don't know. Maybe it's true. Ryan Garcia did promote that fight very well. But Gervonta Davis coming to Ryan Garcia's aid, what do we think of it? Let me know in the comments. Do you guys, you know, agree with Gervonta Tank Davis? Because as much as I like Tank, I think that he just really doesn't like Eddie Hearn, so he's defending Ryan Garcia. And on top of that, you know, Tank wants to make his win over Ryan look more legitimate, and, you know, he really doesn't like Devin, so he wants to believe that, you know, Devin's that easy to beat for Ryan Garcia. But ultimately, as much as I like Ryan, I want to see him defend this. I think it's very possible. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, you know, innocent until proven guilty. I know that he tested positive, and you don't just take that lightly. It's like pregnancy. You're either positive for a test or you're not. And Ryan Garcia did test positive, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that maybe he didn't know that he took it. You know, maybe, you know, you have a lot of coaches in the sport of boxing and you're trusting them. It's not like Ryan Garcia is always watching and being careful about what he eats. You know, obviously you'd like to think that, but in reality, all of these trainers, all of these boxers, I've seen it time and time again, when they're weighing in, you know, they're rehydrating, they're trainers, they have health, you know, they have nutritionists, and they have strength and conditioning coaches. So, like, you're telling me that there's not a chance that Ryan Garcia took something orally? Because what he tested for, Osterine, one of the PEDs, can be, you know, absorbed orally. So I find it hard to believe that there's no chance that this is an accident. So I'm going to give Ryan Garcia the benefit of the doubt. But ultimately, if they're able to prove that it was a big amount to the point where it's like there's no way this is an accident, and Ryan Garcia has no alibi, he has no case to prove that his innocence, then it really is a tough situation for me to kind of give Ryan Garcia that respect, because I think a lot of us, you know, when they say a fight is mesmerizing, you know, that's basically what happens to the fans. We're all mesmerized, so we avoid and ignore the truth. And the truth of the matter is that Ryan Garcia tested positive for 2 PEDs. So no matter what, no matter how exciting that performance, you know, and Ryan Garcia put on a hell of a performance against Devin Haney, you know, you can't ignore the fact that, you know, he did test positive. So we'll see if it's a conspiracy. I don't know. I never rule out crazy, you know, potential outcomes or crazy scenarios, because everyone calls it a conspiracy theory until it's you know, maybe true. You know, if there's some foul play involved, we'll see. We'll have to wait for this situation to unravel, but it is a big mess right now, and Ryan Garcia is in a lot of trouble, because, you know, he's going to have to come forward and present before the New York Athletic Commission, because the fight took place in Brooklyn, and he's going to have to plead his case. I hope he has a good lawyer ready to go, because this is going to be an issue for the next few months, if I'm being real. And, you know, the boxing world has to figure out how to work with this, because Ryan Garcia is such a draw that, you know, money may, the fact that he makes so much money may, you know, allow him to sweep this under the rug and act like it never happened. And, you know, that's the sport of boxing for you. It's not always fair. You know, there is corruption in the sport. I hate to say it. Parts of the sport are dirty. But ultimately, you know, Ryan Garcia making so much money, bringing eyeballs to the sport, you know, that's why we're a little bit, annoyed that this happened because we wanted to see Ryan Garcia succeed. Now it becomes a little bit more tricky. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about Tank Davis coming to Ryan Garcia's defense about the PED situation, testing positive for not 1 but 2 PEDs. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.